It's almost as if an older soul or somebody who's lived many, many lives is occupying her body at that moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Opera Cecilia YouTube channel. For those of you who maybe are new to this space, my name is Taylor Gonzaga. I'm the founder and artistic director of Opera Cecilia. This is a new company focused on bolstering the art of emerging artists and local talent from my region, but at the same time, we have quite the online following for reaction and analysis videos, and that's a big facet of what we do here on the Opera Cecilia YouTube channel. So thank you so much for joining us today. Today we have an extra special video for the Angelina Jordan fans. Ever since I started doing Angelina Jordan reaction videos, I've gotten so many requests to do her very, very first performance that sort of put her on the map. I hope I'm correct in the age, that she was just 6 years old when she performed this on I think it was Norway's Got Talent. I think I heard it once a really long time ago, but it's been a while since I heard it, so I'm coming at it sort of with fresh ears, so to speak. She's definitely not this young anymore, but this was her very first performance and kind of how she started getting into the reality television scene when it came to reality singing shows. She was also on the American version of America's Got Talent. She was on America's Got Talent, The Champions, and she did some really, really incredible covers of songs like Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, for example, on that show, and did a fantastic job. And she's released some incredible covers and some wonderful original music. So I highly recommend you checking her out. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about a little bit before we get into this raw reaction video is something that we have going on with Opera Cecilia. I'm currently selling tickets through Eventbrite to collect donations for my company and the efforts we do for emerging artists with my opera company. For a special event that is super close to my heart called Love Letters to the Arias I Fear. This is a one-woman art film that I am producing myself, where I actually sing some operatic, some classical music that I have always been historically in my life intimidated by for whatever reason. And I kind of break down through my own original poetry what the experience of being an emerging artist in the classical music world is like. So not only do I make like these kind of reaction videos on the internet, but I'm also an active voice instructor and performer, and I'm classically trained. And so I kind of talk about my experience beating to my own drum in an industry that often wants to put you in boxes. So it's a really, really beautiful kind of expose through my own mental health journey as an artist. It's kind of a tell-all thing, and hopefully it's something that can bring other people a sense of peace or make them feel a little bit less alone in their mental health struggles. So if it's something that you're interested in checking out, we will also link the Eventbrite link to the ticketing portal for that event down in the description of this video as well. I sincerely hope you consider joining me, listening to me sing. We're going to be filming out in some beautiful natural locations in the Pacific Northwest, which is where we're from. And we will also be really sharing some original poetry and some really stuff that's close to my heart. That's all I'll say about that. Let's dive into the video. She's so cute.
Sunday is gloomy. Now was I slumberless. Dear is the shadow I live with numberless. Little white flowers were never wasting you. Not where the black cold of sorrow has taken you. Angels I know by, I'm never returning you. Would make me angry if I fully join you. Miss Sunday.
The crazy thing is, like, she is so young here. She's a baby here. And it's so funny because I actually started with Angelina Jordan on one of her videos that she had made much more recently. And so she was much older, and it was one of her original songs. And that's when I learned a little bit more about her as an artist. And so I kind of came into her voice, or was introduced to her voice when it was more mature, I guess. And so getting to go back and see her very first performance, her very first televised performance when she was this little, I mean, it's so precious and it's so beautiful. And what I love about her, and this is something that tends to be pretty typical of really, really young kids that are just like naturally very musical, is you could tell that she has studied the style of singing, the jazz style. You can tell that she has studied recordings of this song. You can tell that she absolutely loves this music and has from a very young age, because, and has other people around her that were influencing her musically, because she 100% has the style down. Kids are just complete sponges when it comes to stylistic sensibilities in music, especially if they are naturally musical kids. And I do think that every kid has the capacity to be musical, but there are some kids where it's just kind of innate, and you sort of see a natural affinity or love for it arise from a very early age, which I'm sure is the case for her. But what I absolutely love about this is not only is she singing authentic to the style, but she has that beautiful, like, it's almost a little bit of an expressive quiver in the voice that happens toward the end of phrases that tends to be characteristic of vintage jazz records. If you listen to vintage jazz singers, or like classic blues, or even some old fashioned musical theater singers will have a bit of that quiver in their voice toward the end. It's so expressive, and it kind of evokes a bygone era. And that's why I think a lot of people refer to her as an old soul, because of her taste in music and her natural ability to tap into this jazz standard style. What is so incredible about what she's doing too is her confidence and her stage presence. It's not just impressive for a little kid. I feel like young kid performers get up there and everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's so good for being 6 years old, or she's so good for being 10 years old. No, she's just a musician, and she's just doing a really good job. And yes, she's extremely young, and there is a lot of development that happens in her voice over the years. She has a way richer, lower tone to her voice now. It's a lot more robust. It's a lot better supported, but at the same time, there's still so much beauty that's happening right now. So it's just incredible. I love this. It's so sweet. And she's so bold, and she has beautiful, big, long hair. I love everything about it. It's so precious to me.
Dreaming, I was only dreaming.
He's in love with her. How could you not be? How could you not just fall in love?
You were asleep in the deep of my heart. Darling,
I want to replay that part again, because she does this like ascending scale a little bit in the melodic line. And what is happening there that I absolutely love is that you can see this region of her voice called the passaggio, where she's kind of navigating it's the passage between chest and head in like a treble or higher voice. And there's passaggios in there's a passage region in every single voice type. But it can be particularly prevalent in what her voice type develops to be over time. Obviously, it's really early to make a determination as to what her voice type would be. If I was working with a student this young, I would absolutely not be having those kind of conversations right now. I would not be putting the kid in a box. I would just be letting them express themselves and learning how to breathe healthily, mostly. But at the same time, what I love that she's doing is she has this kind of like middle voice balance that is so unique to somebody that is as young as her. And the robustness of the tone comes later, mostly because of how your vocal folds develop with age. But it's so sweet, and it's such a pure tone, and it has that natural jazz lilt to it. She even forms her consonants in a way, and her phrases in a way that is characteristic of jazz singing. singing. Like she's really studied this genre for somebody that is like so young. This music's in her blood. And so I absolutely love the fact that she is so effortlessly charming in this performance. There's so much artistry going on for somebody so young. And so it kind of feels like she's been performing. She performs as if she has more life experience than she actually does. It's almost as if an older soul or somebody who's lived many, many lives is occupying her body at that moment. But that's just naturally who she is. And she's kept that essence into her older years and has kept that essence up to the present day. So I'm so happy to see that too. It's so much fun to see her here because in so many ways she is still this artist. Like this hasn't diminished or she hasn't let the industry change her too much from her roots. She's always stayed really true to who she is, which is really special. And everybody, of course, is charmed by her because who wouldn't be?
I'll wake and I'll find you asleep in the deep of my heart.
Right there.
Darling, I hope that my dream never harmed you. My heart is telling you how much I wanted you. Gloomy
Absolutely beautiful sustained note at the very end of her audition. I love it. I love that she feels the music like she's in it. She has some stage presence and it's natural. I think the reason why we find particularly young performers so inspiring as well is because of the uncensored nature of their performances. They just express. You know, it doesn't have strings attached to it. You don't feel like you have to fit into a box. You're not over analyzing. You're just expressing when you're that age. And I think that's something that's so special. And so I think that definitely is evident in this performance. She's just bold and unbridled and she goes out there and expresses herself. Shows she was raised well. It shows that she had a wonderful support system growing up that helped her foster her confidence in that way and her authenticity in that way. So brava to that. What I have commented on in the past, especially since she was somebody who reached fame or notoriety in the public eye so young, is that I'm not always the biggest advocate for kids to get into the public eye young, even if they do show a remarkable aptitude towards singing or a musicality that's really innate and special. And the reason why, like, sometimes I cringe a little bit at seeing all these kids on these reality television shows. And the reason why is because I think it's so easy for them to get exploited. And I think it's so easy for their voices to get overused or misused very, very young when they're at an impressionable point in their vocal development. But as I see Angelina Jordan continue to grow and age like a fine wine into her vocal instrument, I see the wonderful support system and the grounding elements that she has in her life. I know a lot of you know a lot more about maybe her family than I do, and I've been educated in the comments section about her family quite a bit, which I absolutely love. And so I think I'm not just fans of Angelina Jordan, we're fans of Angelina Jordan's support system too, because they're doing a good job. Anyway, that's kind of like a soapbox rant I could go on about child singers for sure. She's definitely an exception to that. But let's see what the judges have to say about her, because I know what I would say. I'd be like, so much musicality, so much maturity, and not even in a patronizing way. She's just an artist, and she always has been, no matter what age she's at. She's so cute.
Angelina,
Ja.
jeg tror at du en gammel sjel som har levd mange liv. Du synger helt fantastisk. Jeg fikk gåsehud helt fra starten av. Jeg har ikke egentlig mistet litt tom for ord her, egentlig.
Ja, det var helt fantastisk å sitte og høre på deg. Dette var virkelig, altså. Du jo musikk.
Takk.
Ja.
Vet du hva jeg tenker om deg? Jeg tenker at du født til å synge. Og jeg vil si at foran oss her, folkens, så har vi ei stjerne.
I wish I had the subtitles with me because I can't, unfortunately, I'm not fluent in the language. But at the same time, I did want to bring up the fact that I did at one point read the subtitles for this, and it did say that somebody did mention that she was an old soul, or that she seems like she's lived past lives or something like that. And I remember that just totally being like a great encapsulating phrase for how she sings. Thank you so much to all the Angelina Jordan fans. This video is dedicated to you. Thank you for supporting this channel and for being here. We will definitely, she has become a staple artist on the channel, so she will definitely be reoccurring on this channel frequently. And of course, we have a large array and variety of other artists on this channel as well. So please check out those videos as well if you have the chance. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Join us on Patreon. We do have a Patreon account that's linked in the description of this video. All of your support means so much to us here at OC, and it gives us the ability to do more of this more often. Right now we're working multiple jobs, but we're trying to make this our full time. So anything that you are able to contribute and that you feel comfortable contributing helps the mission so much. And if you are interested in Love Letters to the Arias I Fear, I would absolutely love to see you on February 25th at our virtual premiere. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever we're catching you, and we'll see you around the channel next time. Bye. Costa Diva,